They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something.
Come on now, y'all know I know it's a weekend. We had to give y'all one, man. It's the Urban Sport. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole. I would say Commanders Friday. That's usually our thing. But no, you know what? It's Commanders Sunday. So we're doing this for the Commanders on Sunday. Commanders news. We have Commanders topic to hit on. But before we do all that, we got to knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the show. So the super chats we will prioritize your super chats within the comment section. Also, don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, it's time for the pregame. Let's get. Well, hold on. I'm doing it wrong. My man Will T would normally say it this way. Let's get into our tradition, the pregame. All right, here's what we have on tap. All right, co-host of the Sports for the Culture, presented by Gas Sports Network, Ron will join me to talk about the Washington Commanders signing Von Miller. All right, let's get right into it. Let me get my guy on. What is good, Ron?
Yes, sir. What up, man?
What's good, bro?
Hey, man, it's another great day. You said Commander Sunday in the opening, man. We're about 7 Sundays away from having an actual Commander Sunday, and I cannot wait.
You ain't lying. Like I was telling, when we was doing the show, maybe the Auburn and go everything we were talking about how instead of making topics, we actually have game topics.
Yeah.
All Commanders content creators, you know what I mean? We'll all have game topics. So I think it's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying?
No, once this next week gets started, and because camp starts, I believe the first practice is next Wednesday.
Yeah,
or this coming Wednesday.
It's coming up.
So yeah, we'll have a lot of news rolling out once camp starts, I'm sure. Honestly, we got some news to talk about today.
Yeah, man. Look, man, football players, I've come to the understanding there's no days off.
Yeah.
Really, it's then more than any other sport. To be real with you,
right?
There's no days off. Their break, the break they do have, ain't enough.
Nah, it's very short, very short lived.
Yeah, it really is. But all right, let's get right into it. Like I mentioned, man, last time you were here, man, you said that you suggested that this team gets a particular edge rusher over a guy that I wanted in Clowney. And let's play this clip. So I just want to make sure folks know we ain't capping out here.
I'm about, I would say I'm like 25%, 50%, somewhere between there. Okay with signing Jadeveon Clowney specifically, but a pass rusher in that vein, maybe like a Von Miller. So somebody like that, I could totally see them getting, but I'm not all the way sold on Clowney just yet.
All right. Well, this looks like the Commanders faithful listen to you. They didn't listen to me. They listened to you.
Adam Peters was definitely tuned into the show.
He definitely was. Sorry. The Commanders signed Von Miller to a 1-year deal worth $6.1 million with the potential to earn $10.5 million through incentives. Okay. It's time for you to say I told you so. So get to it, man. Let's get to the mess, man. Say I told you so.
All right, real quick before I get into the I told you so, I do want to say me and my boy Bryce chopped this up on the Hail to the Culture podcast about Von Miller signing. Before we saw the numbers on the contract. Yeah. So I had given the signing an A+. Now that I see the incentives with the 10.5. Yeah. I got to see what he needs to make to hit those, but that 10.5 does make it a little steep. I will say that. At first, I was like, "Oh man, we're getting a Von Miller Hall of Fame premium pass rusher on situational downs for dirt cheap." But that 10.5 could make it a little pricey.
Well, that means he earns it though, right?
Right.
I'm so if teams ain't dumb.
Yeah, if Von gets us double digit sacks and that's how he gets to the 10.5, then he by all means earns it. I did call this one, man. You just played the clip. I just felt like Von Miller was a better fit for what this team is trying to do. But what it signified to me the most is if you're looking at it from Von Miller's side, at the age of 36, you're not looking to go to a team that's in a rebuild. You're not necessarily trying to just go mentor some young guy. You're trying to win now. You're trying to add to your legacy. Like I'm sure he's trying to get closer to that sack record. So I'm sure he's trying to move up that list of all-time sacks. And I'm sure he'd love to add another ring to his collection. He was real close with the Bills this last season. They made it to the AFC Championship game. So I think the bigger thing to me is Vaughn choosing to sign with the Commanders, especially for that price, even with the incentives, says a lot about where he thinks this team could go.
What do you think that so do you think that he just has that feel for Jaden? Is that like more of a Jaden thing? Like he believes in the quarterback?
I mean, it definitely starts with Jaden and the quarterback, as we all know. I think that's number one. I think it also probably has a lot to do with Dan Quinn, his style of defense, coming to get with a Joe Witt Jr. I think just the overall vibe of Commanders Nation has changed. It's moving forward. We've moved past a lot of those things, even though a certain someone was making some posts about some old names right before we got on air today, trying to drag us back. But that's another topic.
No, I'm not gonna get that.
But yeah, Von Miller sees what the team is moving towards and sees the future of the team. And I think that overall attractiveness has him wanting to come here. But I do think that's a big deal, man. You get a 36-year-old surefire Hall of Famer. He's not going to come somewhere that he thinks they're gonna sputter out and be a 5-1 team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Hey, what's going on, Mike? Man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you as always. Paul, what's good with you, my guy? I'm with my man Mike H. We would have beaten Kansas City. They're close. Yeah, yeah. I think we're close. We are close, man. We would have in the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, definitely. I think we would have definitely could have if we matched up with that Chiefs team. I think we would have a chance to beat that team in the Super Bowl as well. But yeah, I think Von Miller, to your point, Rome, signing this means what? Expectations, right? You don't make this signing unless your expectations are going to the big game. You know what I mean? Like, what's the use of signing a Von Miller if you don't believe that you can do big things? And you got a Hall of Famer, a guy that is an elite pass rusher, not just out of his, and obviously his skill set is diminished as age. Father Time is undefeated, but he has the skill set. He has like the moves. He has the knowledge of knowing how to and knowing how to use leverage and things of that sort to kind of be a good pass rusher. It's not like he was always built on just his physical ability, right? It was also mental, and it was also technical, right? So I just think that having a guy in that locker room, a guy who's won a Super Bowl, a guy who's played at the highest level, a Hall of Famer, is going to do wonders for this team and wonders for this defense. I think it's an excellent signing. And to be real with you, it's just I didn't think about Von Miller at the time. You know what I mean? But I'm all about pedigree. And at this point in time in his career, you're not looking for the old Von Miller. You know, it's a bonus if you get something close to it. You know what I mean? It's a bonus if you get something. To be real with you, it's a bonus if you get 1/3 of the old Von Miller. That's a bonus.
No, facts. I mean, like looking at his stats from last year and throwing on some of the tape, he never played more than 50% of any of the snaps last year, right? Yeah. So he's not coming there to be a starter. I don't think they even have that in mind. I think he's a closer. That's one of the best ways to put it. Think Ray Allen coming off the bench. You know what I mean? If he can hit a couple clutch threes, if he only gets 6 to 8 sacks this season, if he gets 8 sacks this season, but 6 of them come in the fourth quarter, that's huge. Yeah, that's huge. The Commanders were one of the worst teams on defense in the fourth quarter last season. So I think that's another reason. That was another reason why I said it then that they might want to get a guy like Vaughn is because Vaughn is known for being clutch. Even when he was in his prime, you can make a case that for the first 3 quarters, he would tend to disappear. Yeah. And all of a sudden, that fourth quarter, he's a monster. He's unstoppable. Throw on the tape from the last year's wild card game, Broncos Bills. You'll see in the fourth quarter specifically, Von Miller has a ton of quickness, shows an elite spin move, and wins the majority of his pass rush reps trying to get to Bo Nix. Bo Nix is very elusive, though. He didn't get any sacks in that game. Bo Nix was one of the more elusive QBs. But even if you can force that pressure, which is really what the Commanders are looking for, because as we were saying on the last show I was on here, the cupboard's damn near bare. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you have a guy in there where you're like, well, why would you sign a 36-year-old Von Miller to take snaps away from this guy? That's not the situation that they're in. They needed a pass rusher and they needed one bad. And Von Miller definitely checked that box.
Facts. All right, my man. Mike. It's like Miller and Wagner in the same locker room is crazy. Facts, bro. That's leadership, man. Go ahead.
4 years ago, you told me we had Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, and Marshawn Lattimore. Boy, oh, but a crazy defense.
Hey, Mike. I see your chat about what old boy talking about the old name. I ain't gonna talk about that on this show. I'm not gonna get political. I got views. Bro.
Yeah, I literally saw it like right when I was trying to get set up to get on, and then I was like, man.
I saw it. I seen folks do. I've seen folks streaming about it. I'm just not going even. Like, I think you like. I know what. I'm not going to even do that. Like, I'm not. Hey, yeah. Paul said, Miller is a relief sack specialist. Definitely. Yep, saw that last year. Agreeing with you, Rome. Yep, saw that last year. They're going to maximize his reps. Totally. Yeah, I think again, depending on how you use him, you got to keep him fresh. I think that's the most important thing. Keeping Von Miller fresh. So to your point, Rome, in the fourth quarter, that's where he can go ahead and rock. All right, so Rome, how does Von Miller fit with this Commanders pass rush?
I mean, I think he honestly fits really well. You brought it up already, like the veteran presence, right?
Yeah.
Having a guy like that in your locker room is a big deal. I think that goes a long way. One of the things that I think will have an instant impact that we'll see probably in these next couple weeks, but probably the next 2-3 weeks once they actually get the pads on. I think it's going to benefit Josh Connolly Jr. tremendously.
That's a good one. Go ahead.
I think this is going to be huge for Josh Connolly Jr. Once they get them pads on and he can really get one-on-one reps with Von Miller or even the team reps, because that's a guy that's we just said, Hall of Famer, been seen it all. He'll be able to give Connolly a lot of pointers that Connolly wouldn't be getting from. You can't get that type of experience from really anyone other than a Von Miller, right? There's not that many of those type of guys in the world, so I think that'll be huge for a guy like that's development. I think it'll help the other defensive linemen. My hope is Jerome Payne has never really played with a Von Miller. I mean, he had Chase and Montez, but they never quite lived up to that Von Miller stature, right? So my hope is that it also boosts the rest of the guys on the D line a little bit, creates more one-on-ones, and gives them a chance to get to the quarterback as well.
I think he's played. I think the Von Miller now. Actually, it depends on how you look at it, right? I think Sweat, and I like Chase, so I'm not going to act like folks who. I think Sweat. I'm gonna use Sweat as an example because he was his last year was pretty impactful, right? Before he got traded. I think they played with a high level in. I will say this though, there is somebody who's just because of physical ability and just what they can do because of their physical, what their God-given ability, and somebody who can think through it and show you things about, all right, this is what you need to do, and this is how you can be better as a defensive line player in general. Period. How to work leverage, how to look at tendencies and whatnot. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think Chase or Tez had that, but obviously Von Miller has that, so he can definitely make Payne better by saying, you know what, he's doing this, he's doing this. You can play off of this. You know what I mean? Talking about the tendencies of the old lineman, because we know that Von Miller is awesome at that. We've seen it. You know what I mean? So I just think of the knowledge, what he can give, what he can provide for Payne, and to be real with you, on the flip side, like I don't think this is probably the best. No, it is. No problem. What am I talking about? This is the best defense edge rusher that Payne has got to play with since those other two dudes left the building. So, and we know that, you know, the interior, like those two dudes played better when they had better edge rushers.
Most definitely, and I think I think it'll boost the entire defensive line, but I think the biggest impact will be the Connolly Jr. Having the rookie go against that type of caliber guy in practice will definitely make him better.
He was. Von was training Chase Young at some point. Definitely was. He was definitely working with Von Miller. Again, they're different though. Von had more bend. Chase doesn't have that much bend like Von. Von, he said, Mike said, Von may help Payne get that bag, but just the inspiration playing next to Von Miller. I mean, Payne's playing on a contract year. That's enough.
Yeah, if we're getting contract Payne again, last time Payne was on a contract year, he went crazy.
I think that's more money. I think Payne's already got He's already motivated. Let me say that much.
And on the Von Miller point too, man. Like
yeah.
to me, I picture Von in this era of pass rusher. All the great pass rushers tend to have like a journeyman type into their career. You know, all the greats, and I feel like that's where Von is, man. I feel like that's why he signed with the Bills last year and his run with the Rams the year before that, where he went crazy. I think he averaged like a sack a game in the playoffs.
He was killing with the Rams. He was killing with the Rams. You talking
right?
We're talking with Aaron Donald, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we can get that type of production from Von in the playoffs, or really even in December when we have that NFC East gauntlet, because I think we got like 4 or 5 NFC East games in a row. That's really when I want to see Von, is around Christmas time.
Oh, I like this one. Actually, so this goes to my question. I'm gonna skip Paul. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this one because it goes to my question too. So you mentioned who's gonna help on the like in terms of how it's gonna help Conley. Who on a defensive line, like in general, or defensive players will Miller help the most?
The most, I would probably say, I think Von's impact will be felt the most by the secondary.
Okay,
because any secondary needs some type of pass rush, especially in today's NFL, right? And that was what I was most concerned about. I like what they did with the corners. I'm not 1,000% sold on the safeties. I do like Quan Martin, but I don't think anybody is mixing him up with one of the best safeties in the league. So that's a question mark to me, right? You got to cancel that out with some type of pass rush. If Von can get a consistent pass rush on third down, make the QB get the ball out quicker, that'll go a long way for them DBs. Because what we were looking at before they signed Von Miller had me worried that the lack of the pass rush could have crumbled what could be a good to great defense. So
yeah. All right. So Paul, actually, this is who I thought it would help out, and I like this question. It said, how would he help Louvu with his pass rush? So I do think because they're similar. They're not similar players, but they got similar builds, right? When Von came in, like a slender dude guy who stands up and he does rush the passer at times. I think that Von could teach Louvu some things in terms of how to use leverage a lot. Like that's my thing. Use leverage, get low, use his speed because Louvu is a speed rusher. I think Von can do something. I'm talking about young Von. I mean young Von Miller, who's a little slender, right? Than older Von Miller. But I do think that he can teach Louvu some things because we said this before. Like Louvu is a guy to me that's better off like blitzing, like he's a blitzer. That's how he gets a lot of his sacks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But I think Von can teach him some things, like because they do like lining him on the line. Like Washington does like lining him up on the defensive line.
That was a great comment too, because I think that is gonna free Louvu up. I think if you were asking me who's gonna lead the team in sacks this season, I'm not picking Von Miller. I'm probably picking Louvu. But I'm picking Louvu in part because we just signed Von Miller. What's gonna happen is third and longs, third down passing situations. Von's gonna be on one side, and Louvu's gonna be moved around. He's gonna be on the other side. He's gonna be in the middle. He's gonna be on the same side as Von. One of those guys more than likely will get free majority of the time, which is really was the biggest area of struggle for the Commanders, was that situational pass rush. Like there was no clutch pass rush. You know what I mean? Like what's his name? Who was dude that they let go? That he had a decent amount of sacks. Fowler. Yeah, Fowler. He had like 9 sacks, right? Yeah, 10, he had a good. He
had double-digit sacks.
But it didn't feel that way, you know, because a sack in the first or second quarter, I'm gonna forget about if we're giving up a touchdown to Atlanta and now we got to go to overtime. You know what I mean? We needed that guy that's gonna get that sack in that fourth quarter, that strip sack, that tip ball, that whatever it is in clutch time, and that is what Von Miller has synthesized his entire career. So
you almost need a game time player. That's basically what it is.
A game changer.
Yeah. So it's a guy who understands the moment, right? Rather than just getting you stats just to get stats, he understands the moment. He knows when it's time to get that sack or put the pressure on the quarterback. He's able to do that. He may not be at his best throughout the whole game, but yeah, like Mike H said, like definitely, like you said it too, Ron, a closer. Yeah, to use it in sports, a closer.
And I know a lot of the fan base was quick to bring up the age thing, but like I said, throw on that tape from last year's playoffs. You don't even got to go far. The last 3 games he played, the Ravens game, and I'm sure you remember this, that Lamar Jackson fumble. Who picked that up?
Vaughn.
who was free and able to scoop that up after
Yeah.
that's what I'm visioning for the Commanders. You got Luvu blitzing, he hits the quarterback, fumble, Vaughn's there to scoop it.
Mhm.
Same type of deal. Maybe the younger Von Miller might have housed that, but he
Yeah.
is up in age. He is up in age, so he's getting walked down nowadays. But the fact that he's still around the ball and still able to make those plays as recent as last playoffs, I'm not concerned about the age. I think Dan Quinn and them dudes will do a great job of keeping him fresh, like we've been saying. And I think his impact is going to be big, big, big.
I mean, he's an older player, but again, it's when you know how to do something, when you're good at it, and you've been good at it for years. And let's let this be known. He's better. He's an upgrade compared to Fowler. So you're going to get better play out of that position.
Yeah,
I'm confident in that.
40%. Von Miller playing 15 to 20 snaps is definitely still an upgrade from Fowler.
Yeah, and no shade to Fowler. We're just talking about a Hall of Famer who's done it in consistent years. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. Fowler peaks every like 1 out of 5 years. 1 out of 5 years. That's how. If you look at Fowler's stats, they peak at 1 out of 5 years. There's definitely no consistency ever. Like last year was one of those years too. Having to be a contract year, right? So which worked out for
Right.
him that way. So it just. But Von Miller's a guy who's just done it. It is what it is. So do you think that Von Miller can stay healthy and play at a high level?
Yes, because I believe, and I'm sure people will ask Dan Quinn and them about this once everything gets rolling. But I believe they're gonna have a plan in place for him. I'd be
Mhm.
shocked to see him play too much in September and October.
Mm.
Um, Obviously, he's probably not gonna play at all in the preseason. I would be shocked at that.
Yeah.
So I think whatever plan that they have in place as coaches, um, to keep him fresh will keep him healthy
Mhm.
the whole game. Even if it's a 17 game season, if we can get 15 games out of Vaughn, that's big, especially if
Yeah.
those 15 games if he doesn't miss any games in December, doesn't miss any games in January. Once we're in the playoffs, if he's fully healthy, that's going to be the true judge of that. If he pulls a hammy or misses a little bit of time in September, October, I'm not going to be tripping off of that at all.
Man, if we get that many games out of Von Miller, we're definitely winning.
Yeah.
But I do think that I think he'll play at a high level. I feel like again, because of I'm only going off of just what Fowler did here in Washington. If Fowler can give you 10.5 sacks, if Von Miller can now they're not gonna I don't know if they're gonna play the same amount of snaps. That's the only question.
Right.
Because Fowler did play enough snaps. So I guess do you feel like if we look at the depth chart when Von Miller gets here, do you see them having him as the starting defensive end edge rusher?
No.
Okay.
I would be shocked if he was the quote unquote starter, right? Like I think by the end of the season his games will look like games played. It'll be a bunch of
Mhm.
them checked. Games started, you might not, you know what I'm saying, have a ton checked. And that's just looking at what the Bills did with them.
Yeah.
They didn't deploy him, down in and down out. There wasn't a lot of first down tape to look at.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it'll be similar with the Commanders. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. I don't think Bond signed here expecting to be the day one starter or to play all the snaps. I think that's probably going to go against what he was thinking. I think he's coming in here thinking I am going to be the closer. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
will mentor these guys on first and second down and then come in and finish it up. So no, I don't think he'll be the day one starter. I think whatever plan they had in place originally, that'll still
Mhm.
be what they roll with. And now they have a guy where they can say it's third and 8, let Von eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So Mike said with Von Miller on the edge, I believe the defensive line and the defensive backs should be able to stop the run. Hopefully, do you agree with that? Because I'm not sure about that, but do you agree with that?
I don't think Von adds anything to stopping the run. I think they
Yeah.
already kind of established what they wanted to do with that by getting Kinlaw. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think Kinlaw, Payne, Newton out there. I think they'll and that's the other thing too that we can get into. There'll be all
Yeah.
kinds of variations and formations of how they line this thing up. Like I don't think it's always going to just be Payne and Newton as the two. I think there'll be a formation where it's Payne, Newton, and Kinlaw all three
Mhm.
out there. Maybe
Well,
Kinlaw's playing the end on an early down to support run stop. Maybe they'll definitely mix it up. So I don't think that there's any one way to look at it, but I think I don't. There's no way that I see Vaughn playing a ton on first down or really being in there on rundowns at all.
Yeah. They said go. Yeah. Everybody's talking about Goldman too. Haven't had a nose in a while. Goldman playing the nose tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Uh,
I think they definitely got a plan on how they want to attack the run, because that was another thing that the defense was terrible at was stopping the run. One of the worst teams in the league. So I think they've already done enough in that regard. But Vaughn is here to definitely help the pass rush.
yeah, like Mike. Yeah, like Mike said, maybe first and third down. That would be like Vaughn's down to kind of create havoc. Start to run out. We'll see. I'm a believer of we'll see when the season starts, because I'm a firm like I'm not sure if it's system or players when it comes to stopping the run, because again, Dan Quinn's system the last couple of his years, his inning in Dallas, teams were running all over them too. So
it's definitely system, bro. Because
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, go ahead,
we
bro.
have Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen and Newton and Bobby Wagner in the middle and
can't stop. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's something. I'm not gonna just say it's player. I'm like, it's easy. I think a lot of people say that and they just want to go with it but I'm like, if you look at a pattern, the year again, like I said, the year he left Dallas, they couldn't stop the run. He comes here with a better interior, and for years that was the thing. Like, teams were starting to run up the middle now.
Yeah.
Teams weren't able to stop running up the middle on us in the past. So I'm not sure. I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? I'm just being real. Like, what happened? Joe
Woods Jr. first go at it wasn't great with the run defense, and that probably has a lot to do with his style being tied to Dan Quinn.
Yeah, Mike said a big year for Joe Woods Jr. I agree. I think it is. I think it's a big year for Mike. I do. People know how I feel about Joe Woods Jr. I'm like, you can talk. Talking is good. Time to produce, my guy.
Right. It is though.
Yeah, time to produce, my guy. Everything sound good. Single gap penetration based system that is weak against gap runs.
Yeah, and you can't have that in this division because the biggest threat is Saquon.
Yeah.
So we cannot have that. That's got to get straightened up. I mean, we're not going to see the Eagles till December, so that is a long way off. But you got to get those things straightened together.
That's why Mike said that's why we have that nose tackle in the middle. I'm just saying, did Dallas not have a nose tackle either? I'm just saying, bro, like, this system. That's all. I don't think it's player. I think it's easy. Like, I think we want to just talk about player. I don't think it's player, but we'll see. Maybe Goldman and will help out. You know what I mean? Maybe Kinlaw will help out. You know what I'm saying? Hope maybe. I'm not going to knock it. Like, maybe they play out their mind. Maybe they just need this. They needed these players to make the system work. Paul said, "Thanks, Wole and Rome. It's the system, and teams have a feel for what they want to do." That's what I kind of would believe in. I believe in that kind of sort of. I think it's more system than players. That's just my belief. Because again, when it comes back to it, and Rome, you said it, Allen and Payne together, teams. We've always heard prior to this season that coaches always found the game plan was to always to stop those two up the middle, like block those two, double team those two, because they would create havoc and stopping the run. You may not rushing the passer, but stopping the run, right? It's hard. They always say it's hard to run up the middle against Washington. That's always been a thing with those because of those two, right?
Allen and Payne, I watched the tape, bro. Allen and Payne eat up a lot of double teams.
Exactly.
You got Bobby Wagner as a Hall of Fame linebacker. Like, y'all should be at best. It shouldn't be getting gashed for 10, 15 yards.
That's the thing.
A lot of that is the scheme. They don't play a deep linebacker like a lot of times it would just be Bobby in the middle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the way that it was schemed up, it wasn't conducive to stopping the run at all, which was shocking because your biggest opponent has Saquon Barkley. Like, that's all. But a true nose tackle will help that a lot, though. Yeah, like as great as Payne and Allen are, they're not like a true nose tackle.
They're not.
So,
but like
that's why the boy Ridgeway.
Yeah,
he was all right. He was killing it when he was in there.
Then they let him go.
Right.
Actually, he fits a lot. They let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Ridgeway was a good one. They let him go. But again, like even it's wild because even in today's, it's crazy. Today's NFL isn't like nose tackle isn't like the biggest thing in today's NFL.
No,
Like in
it's
today's
not. It's
NFL,
not.
like the nose, that's not a position that people really carry because they
It's
all
because you got it. It's all about. It's like this episode. We talking about
yeah,
Von Miller, pass
yeah.
rushers.
There
We
you
just
go.
seen T.J. Watt get big bucks,
Yeah,
and typically your nose tackle ain't really getting you
appreciate you,
more than like
Taj.
5 sacks. So it's
And
tough to get paid as a nose tackle.
it is. Appreciate you, Taj. You're hilarious, dog. But Todd, you got something to say? Let it be said so I can kind of profile it. But yeah. But back to Von Miller. I feel like I don't know if but back to the point. I don't think Von Miller's going to help stop the run. I'm not going to go that far. But I think Von Miller will definitely help this team. This team in terms of the sack total. So what do you think? All right, with a player like Von Miller, do you think this team can crack the? And we'll go. We think about how many sacks we think Von Miller will have next season, this upcoming season. But in terms of the sack total or ranking within sacks, what do you think having a player like Von Miller, where will this team rank defensively in sacks as a team?
I mean, they weren't. I want to say they were like middle of the pack last year,
Yeah,
or a little bit below that.
A little bit. They were okay. They were like in the middle of the pack, a little bit below that.
Yeah, like slightly below the middle. I don't know if he gives a big boost to it.
Mm-hmm.
I keep looking at the roster, bro. I don't see a double-digit sack guy on the team. Like I'd like to say Luvu, but that's a stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was placing a bet, I would need to see the odds on Luvu getting 10. I might take him depending on what Vegas is thinking. But I don't think Von's gonna get more than 10. I think he'll be under 10 just on the strength of the playing time. But I think if we collectively can get 3 to 4 guys that got above 6 sacks, we're in a very good spot. Like we mentioned, Payne being in a contract year. If he can get 7-8, if Luvu gets 7-8, and Von's in that 6 to 8 range as well, then I think we're in a good spot.
I want to read this from Taj first. Taj said, "Oh yeah, Taj said I'm good, brother. I think Von is an upgrade, but they do have to monitor his minutes. I do, and also I'm gonna say this. You know, I made this. We talked about like with this deal with Von Miller. Like it doesn't like stop them from trying to say go after another edge rusher if they wanted to, another cheap edge rusher. Like it could be like I know we talked about it on a prior show, but like Clowney, like there's room to get whoever. Like you're right. At the end of the day, it's still a friendly. It is a friendly deal, and even if he gets 10 plus sacks, 10 million for a guy who gets 10.5 sacks. If Von Miller gets like 10.5 plus sacks, that means he's had an excellent year. So I expect him to make an impact if he does that. So that means you pretty much still get him on a bargain. So for that 1 year. So I'm just saying, like even for a player, they wanted to bring in. Still bring in another edge rusher just for more depth, like a Clowney or whoever. Some of the names we mentioned in the past prior, like Zadarius Smith or something like that. Zadarius Smith, you can say it's old, but he's still a bull rusher. Yeah, Zadarius, like you could still do that. Thanks, Coach, man, appreciate you. But you can still do that. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely. There's definitely still room to bring in someone else. This is why when we talked about the pre-draft, this is why I wanted them to draft the edge rusher so bad.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
To me, I'm looking at the who they have, and I'm like, this just ain't good enough. And no disrespect to Baptiste and these boys, but like we talk about going into an NFL season, the Eagles got lane. Like I keep going back to the Eagles and what they have because they just won a Super Bowl. They're the team that just stopped us from getting to the Super Bowl. So you got to look at it and how you're going to compete with them compared to them. And you're talking about Lane Johnson versus Baptiste. I'm taking Lane Johnson 9 times out of 10, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm not expecting, but like so they had to do something, and that's why, to your point, it wouldn't be crazy if they made another move. Obviously, the price got to be right. Obviously, they're still dealing with the contract thing with Terry, so people gonna be wondering how you spend the money here and there. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if they made another move or tried to bring someone else in. I don't think they're going to trade for Trey Hendrickson. I think that ship is sailed.
That's done.
I don't know how much thought the team actually put into that. I think a lot of the fans thought the possibility of that was going to happen. I think the asking price was probably just too high. Because if I'm the Bengals, I'm not letting them go for anything cheap. So the asking price was probably too high in that regard. So that's why I kind of like the Von Miller move more than trading for even trade. But I think Von Miller is probably the best scenario, the best way that they could have went.
I think
But
so.
I would not be mad at bringing in one other pass rusher for some depth.
What do you think about Mike's idea about this one? He said Preston Smith would be a good death piece too. Do you believe so? Do you agree with that?
Now, see that now that's exactly what I'm talking about. I
Yeah,
mentioned him, I believe, on Twitter because
yeah,
Jameson Crowder last year came back. I
yep.
would love to see Preston Smith make a return, and that's another guy who you're not like Vaughn. You're not signing him to go be a starter. You're not signing
Yeah,
him to get 10 plus sacks. You're signing them for situational things, and Preston can
yeah.
probably give you a little bit more help in
On
the
the
run
run,
game.
game. Yes, there you go. There
So
you go.
so
There
he
you
would
go.
honestly be an excellent chess piece for
Yeah,
depth because
I
he doesn't
like
have
that.
to start at all, and he can just be a rotational guy, especially at this point in his career. So he would be a great pickup.
I like that one too. I think adding in Preston would be good. Coach said Miller can teach Armstrong, Baptiste, etc. Do you believe that he can help those individuals out?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's Von Miller. Like we said, this
Yeah.
is a Hall of Famer. Those individuals you just named would be crazy to not be taking notes.
Hmm.
Every time Von's speaking, mimicking his movement, seeing how he works out. That's another thing. A lot of guys in general, not even just on the defense, just the players in general. Von is 36. What year is this that he's heading into in his NFL career?
Let
You
me check
don't
that
see
out.
a you
Yeah.
don't see a lot of guys going this deep into their NFL career. So this is an opportunity for the whole locker room to see how he prepares for a season, how he goes through a season, how he keeps himself in shape to even be a part of this team. So I think he's going to help in a big regard for a lot of guys.
3, 4, 5, 11, 12,
You got
13.
to be at least over 10.
Sorry, I'm geeking. 13 years.
Yeah. So he's in his 13th, 14th season, man.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal. You don't see very many guys able to keep going at a high level or at all
Yeah.
in their 10th plus year.
Also, like, and he missed a few. He missed a few years because of injury. So,
Yeah, man, a lot of
yeah,
guys don't get back.
yeah, he did. Yeah, it was going on. What's going on, homie? Also, Mike said, I'm hoping they are monitoring Justin Simmons and Isaiah Bond. I've always
I
liked Justin.
would love if they
Man.
got Justin
I
Simmons,
would
man.
love to have Justin Simmons, bro.
Like I was saying
I wanted
earlier, dude.
Justin Simmons like last year, though.
I am not tied to these safeties at all.
Yeah.
I I the Will Harris signing, I didn't hate it in the beginning, man. But like I said, I'm a guy that uses the NFL Pro. I throw on the tape. I'm not sold on Will Harris, bro.
Thank you,
Like
bro. I've been saying
he
it.
didn't move me.
Bro, I be telling folks that they be saying he run fast. I be like, all right, he ain't better than Chin. I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
it out there.
bro.
He
He's
ain't better
not
than
Jeremy
Chin.
Chin, and I wasn't big on Jeremy
Jeremy
Chin.
Chin either. I know.
So, and that's the thing. Like I was saying, like as good as Quan is, he's not as impactful. He's not impactful enough to offset uh
You
Will
gotta be
Harris
better.
not being
Yeah,
that great. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Exactly.
So you don't want two safeties that are slightly above average. You want at least one of them to be good to great. So they need to upgrade in that safety room, and Justin Simmons would be a huge upgrade.
Bruh, I like this one. Yeah, one injury away from Percy. Yeah, and Percy ain't it. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, Percy's a guy I really had hoped would have developed more by now. He's
Yeah.
had a couple flashes, bro, but then it's like, man, Percy's a hard one to watch on tape because it's like I'm not one of those guys that sits and pretends like I know, like I'm not in the huddle. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know the play. I don't know your assignment
Mhm.
pre-snap, but I do know once I watch the play 3, 4 times and you're the only guy looking around, you're the
Mhm.
only guy confused, and everybody stops and stares at you like you were the one out of position. And
Bruh,
I
I
do
know
know
that.
when
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happens on
You're the
more
one.
than one occasion that
You're the one.
you are not locked in enough. You're not there enough, or maybe you're not getting enough reps. I don't know what it is, but I need Percy Butler to not be confused when he's out there because there's far too many times where he looks like he's out of position for whatever the reason. But it's too often for me.
Here you go. Shelly on Twitter said, "I think Vaughn will be integral in third down the defense packages we have to get our defense off the field and stop drives. That's why Vaughn is here. Lower percentage of snaps for him, but I believe he'll still produce for us." Yeah, I agree with that, Shelly. Definitely do. Paul said, talent wise, has it, but talent wise, Owens has it, but let's see if he's ready to play a lot of reps. I like Owens a lot, but I gotta see his reps though too. I agree with that, Paul. I can't go off of like this build. Like we all, because when I see him, I'm impressed. But
Owens is one of the players that's got me hyped for camp
yeah,
next week.
yeah, you got to see him.
Camp
Like
in preseason. I want like you
see
said. I hear a lot about him. I just need to see it put together on either on tape or live in action.
Yeah, I'll tell. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen some. I mean, I've seen him in camp. I've seen him. I like what I see a lot when I seen him in camp last year. But then also like reporters and some of the reporters and folks who cover the team, they've like always touted this dude, bro. Like everybody and people that I trust, they say this dude is one of them. Like he makes plays. Last year is making plays often. So I just want to give him. I'll say this much. I don't think he could be as bad as Percy Butler. I know Percy Butler is faster, but I don't think he can be as bad as Percy Butler. I'm sorry. That I will say. That I will say. I'm confident enough to say that much. Oh, thanks, Mike, man. Appreciate you, my guy. But yeah, I don't think that much. But it is what it is. Mike said, give Terry 31. See, we're not going to do this today, Mike. We did this earlier. Like we did, Mike. We ain't doing Terry's talk today. And we're gonna do that. We did that on freaking Friday, bro. And I don't feel like getting animated.
I think honestly, bro, we don't need to get too into the Terry thing.
Yeah.
And I think by this time tomorrow, it'll be a new conversation. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I think by this time tomorrow, the conversation will be different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, right. Keep Wole calm. Thank you. Keep me calm. We ain't doing that Terry stuff. Keep me calm. I don't got time for that crap. You already know. Y'all know y'all be getting on my nerves that drink. But all right. So, all right. How many sacks you think Von gonna get, bro?
Ah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and set. I was between 6 and 8, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna up it though, because I think his impact's gonna be great.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 9.5. I think he's gonna be just under the 10. I think he's just under the 10. Like you said, if he hits 10, he's having a great season. He's killing it. I think he'll get 9.5. And as long as 4 or 5 of them come in the fourth quarter, that's all I'm asking for.
All right, Roy says I refuse to have high hopes about our defense until they do something in the season. I agree. Hey, Roy, I agree.
Roy, okay, Roy, you're touching on what I wanted to touch on before I got out of here.
Go ahead, bro.
As much as I love the Von Miller signing, and I think it's a great signing, it was very needed. Like I said, it was needed because before that, you didn't have anything. Like you had nothing at pass rush. So you had to go out and sign a 36-year-old Von Miller. Does that change the Eagles hanging 55 on you? Has our defense improved since that moment? I don't know that Von Miller leaps the defense to where it needs to be the Eagles team, but it does give it a small improvement, but not the improvement that I think is necessary. I still think this defense is a liability on this team. I still think they have a long way to go in building an actual good defense. Even once the season is over, we're gonna have Bobby Wagner, who's the age that he is. Deron Payne contract year. If he plays great, are we gonna pay him? That's gonna be a whole thing. We could be seeing Deron Payne leave like we saw Jonathan Allen leave. So this defense is still gonna be in revamp mode. I like what they did with the corner room. If Marshawn Lynch can get back to that, or Lattimore, my bad. If Marshawn Lattimore can get back to that dog status now that he's not hurt, that could be a solidified piece for a few more years. If not, then you got some good guys, but they're all young. So, and we are, like I've been saying this whole show, man, I'm not tied to these safeties at all. The safety room has to improve. So the defense as a whole, man, we can sit and we can talk about how great Von Miller is for this year, but that's just this year. And this defense as overall is still the Achilles heel to this team.
Mike said 7. Mike has 7 sacks. Todd, 7 sacks is a good year. Rory 11.5. No, bro, I'm with you, bro. I think Von's going to. If Dante Fowler gave me 10.5 last year, I think it was 10.5 last year. I'm gonna go with even in limited duties, and just the way because the secondary is better, the cornerbacks are better. I can see Von get some cover sacks with it. I think Von Miller can get Washington, especially and Russell Wilson. And someone said Russell Wilson's in the division, which he takes
first game.
Yeah, he takes sacks though. He takes sacks. I think Von can get you. I think Von can get you about 11.5. I'm gonna go with 11.5 too, bro. I like that 11.5. I'm with you on that one. Paul, 7 to 8.5 sacks. Can see that. Yeah, this is what Rory said. Yeah, twice a year. Yeah, definitely. Todd said, I'm not even worried about the sacks, but the hurries and that fourth quarter play. Yeah, to what and Todd, you missed out. Ron was saying basically having a Von Miller as a dude that's like a closer. That fourth quarter is what you're gonna get the best out of. You know what I mean? Mike said the Giants and Dallas edge rushers will be a challenge for our left and right tackles. Definitely. But it goes back to what Rome said, and I do agree with that. I didn't even think about that, Rome. It's a really good point, bro. That having a Von Miller is going to prepare, Connerly for those type of edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? Just the knowledge of Von Miller. You know what I mean? Paul said the defense just had to be solid. I mean, be solid in the middle of the pack. That is a progress. Yeah. In the run, against the run. Like it just got to me, the defense against the run has to be solid enough. Like
he's right though. We just got to be middle of the pack.
Yeah.
They don't got to be dominant.
No, we got to be
at least middle of the pack.
The defense got it. Like the stopping of, to me, when we say the defense, they got to be middle of the pack to me and stopping the run. They can't be like at the bottom in average yards. Team can average yards a rush. Like they can't be near the bottom. Like they got to be like, I'm cool being in the middle of the pack and stopping the run. Like I'm cool with that. It just can't be what it was last year. Like to me, sometimes it just seemed like it was a video game situation.
Yeah,
right? Folks are running us like a video game. All right, here Todd has a question. Now here's the real question: if Vaughn gets double-digit sacks and Fowler and double digits and Fowler had that last year, is it the system or do we have to give our DC some credit? No, because it's Von Miller.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Von Miller. It's Von Miller, bro. Joe Witt ain't gonna get no love for that one, bro. Joe, if Von Miller got double-digit sacks, it's not gonna be Joe Witt getting crowned.
Now, if you say if Baptiste got double-digit sacks, then I'll be with you. But no, this Von Miller. I'm not. I ain't gonna do that.
I'm not putting nothing past the Hall of Famer. Nothing.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. No, Baptiste. Yeah, we can give him his flowers. It was Baptiste. I agree with you. I'll give you that one. Mike, at the end of the day, Von is here for the same as Bobby, and that's to train these young guys. I agree. I think so too. And win a Super Bowl, like Von wants.
And win I was about to throw that in there too. They're both trying to get that chip.
Yeah, 15 overall. We good. Yeah, I would take that too. I think they were in the middle. We were like not too far from that last year, though, to be honest with you. Because we were good against the pass, which was, even with St. Juice or something.
I really think it's got to be more about the clutchness. And that's why, like I said, that's why I brought up Von Miller, the original show. Because if you go back, man, the Saints game, the Atlanta game, like the defense didn't show up in the fourth quarter. Those are games that we should have just put these dudes away. And adding a guy like Von Miller really does help you put those teams away.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I think Todd said Von ain't have 10 sacks in like 4 years. Let's see, where did Von 6, 8? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So if he has a resurgence, yeah, I'll give him some credit.
Here's a question:
Go ahead.
Does Von Miller have more sacks on the Commanders than he's had the past couple years? Like, because I think he's gonna have his best season in the last 3 years. I really do.
I think so too. But I think that to me, I think it is. I think he will because I think there's more incentive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To play well. You know what I mean? And also that I would say that though, like it's the incentive to play well and knowing that you are kind of like on your last leg. You know what I'm saying? Like no disrespect to like the greatness of Von Miller, but this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is it. So I feel like there's more involved to like. And also, we could say this, Taj, to your point about the system. What motivated Fowler last year? It was a contract year.
Yep.
So he had to play well. Same thing like anybody. So I wouldn't say it's the system. It's just that he's motivated. It's the contract year. You're gonna put your best work out there because you want to get paid next season. So if
you're not motivated in a contract year, something's wrong with you.
So the same thing's going to apply like this. In essence, he got incentives, right? So what do you have? You're motivated to reach those incentives.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies. There's a different form of motivation. So I don't know if I would say. So now that I think about it, I don't know if I would say it's system. It's what motivates you. Because I know, you want to win a championship. It's a big motivation for Von Miller. But also, if you give me an incentive to win 10, I'm getting paid $6.1 million. The incentives hit. I get 10.5, 4 million more, about 4 million more.
Yeah,
definitely I'm gonna be playing harder. I want to reach those incentives.
Yeah, you talking about making 6 million or 16 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'm trying to hit that
yeah,
16.
yeah. So I'm with that, bro. Like I think there is that too. Yeah, I think Tasha, I agree about the 1 year deal. I think it's a combination of of all those factors. Agreed. Paul 8.5 is gravy. If he gets 8.5 sacks, is amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Paul has a question. Says with our question with the emphasis on turnovers, does that take away from playing solid defense in good positions? I mean, I feel like I think they'll be a better. I think they'll. I actually think Washington will do better this upcoming season in forcing turnovers. I do believe that. I think that the goal. I feel like the goal for Washington shouldn't be to finish in the top 10 on defense. Because to your point, Rome, I don't know. They have the scheme. I don't know. I don't think they have the talent to
Yeah,
have
they don't
that.
have what it takes to be top 10.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I do
think.
think they could. I do think that a goal should be if they can finish in the top 5 in forcing turnovers. If they can do that,
Right.
I
Now,
think
if you're telling me it's a situation where they're not the yards per average or whatever isn't they're in the bottom towards that, but they're in the top with turnovers. So
yeah,
we're giving up too many first downs, but then we're getting those clutch plays.
yeah,
I would take that because that's really what it comes down to. Like I said, like interception in the second quarter doesn't have the same meaning as the interception in the fourth. You
facts.
know what I'm saying? Like you get that big sack when with the last 3 minutes on the line, that's a lot different than getting a sack in the first quarter. So I'm fine with it as long as it's all coming at the clutch times. And I think that's what Bond really just symbolizes, man, is you need guys to make clutch plays at clutch times. I'm looking at Lattimore as well to be that type of player.
Yeah, I think that too, and like I feel like he has some motivation. He has some motivational element to him too, because everybody called him Wise last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a too that's going kind of like spark his play. So I think Washington got a lot of guys who are hungry to prove a point. Bobby Wagner, even last year he played well, but folks that he done, he had the same Bobby, and he may not have been the same Bobby, but he was standing there good enough. You know what I mean? So
Hell
I
yeah.
and like so, there's levels to it. Like I think why I think we can complain about the 1 year deal, but I think the 1 year deal also has players motivated to kind of like say, "Oh, I got to give you my best." Rochelle Davis, what's going on? How you doing? Says after the signing, it's a question. After the signing of should we have any concern with our running back room? I'll let you answer that one.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man. People gotta let this running back room thing go, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
I get the fan base is soured on Brian Robinson Jr., but be for real. Let's have a little reality check real quick. All
Yeah.
right. What other running back are they about to go get that's gonna be better than Brian Robinson Jr.?
Well,
The running backs aren't
they like
falling off trees out here.
they like the rookie, man. It's the rookie. It's the 7th round pick. That's the one everybody thinks going to be him.
And I hear that, but
Yeah.
until they at least get some pads on, we really
We
gotta
don't
pump the
know.
brakes
Yeah, I know. We gotta see. That's what I've been
on the
trying to
seventh
tell
round
folks.
on the
That's
seventh
what we
round
tell
rookie, bro.
folks. That's what
Like
we tell folks.
it's mid July, bro. You're trying to tell me a guy that got drafted in the 7th round is better than a guy who's been playing in the league and is literally improved each season, bro. Like
Mm,
I get it. It doesn't feel that way because
mm,
it feels like he's the type of back that wears down as the season goes.
yeah.
But if you look at his stats, every year his average per carry goes up. Brian Robinson Jr. has been getting better every season, and there's no reason to think going into this season that he's not going to improve again, man. I
Yeah.
get that he's not the pass catcher that today's game
Well, bro, you know
needs, but
what?
he's not a bum. He's not a
No,
bum
because
in that
with Eric
regard.
Bieniemy, he was catching the ball with Bieniemy like
Right.
that though. So I put that on Cliff. I don't think Cliff tried to utilize him like EB was trash. So I'm not saying, but
Yeah,
I'm just
that EB run
saying,
was crazy.
yeah. But I'm just telling y'all, like we saw that he could do that though, and they didn't do that with him with Cliff. I'm just saying, that's just
Right,
more of a
right. I
it's
think
not on him.
if Brian Robinson Jr. could stay healthy through a full season, he could probably be a 3 down back. And then
Mm,
as far as the whole room, Austin Eckler, as long as he stays healthy, I think that's where the 7th rounder comes in.
yeah, Crosby
Corey,
Merritt, Crosby
yeah,
Crosby Merritt.
yeah, Big Bill or whatever
Yeah, Big Bill.
he
Yeah,
goes
Big
by.
Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he comes in and he shares some snaps with Eckler, takes a little bit of the pressure off Eckler. If Eckler's another guy, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna have a big impact down the stretch too. So I think the running back room is fine, and I think there's really no concern there at all.
Here we go. Krosky Merritt has to show he can pass protect. That's the most important thing if you're gonna be out there. That's the truth though. That's what you have to really do. You want to be out. You want to be out there. You got to show that you can pass protect. If you can't pass protect, then he won't be out there. That's a fact.
No, fact. That's
That's a
facts, and
fact.
That's the biggest thing for all rookie running backs,
Yeah,
really, because
exactly.
you don't get asked to do too much of that in college, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden in the pros is one of your main jobs. So I mean, that goes for all of them, really.
Yeah, Roy said we need 1 year deals for at least the next 2 years. We can't succeed without them. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the 1 year deal has we get a lot of motivated players on these 1 year deals. I won't even lie
Well, I
to you.
mean, it
Jeremy Chin,
hasn't
Jeremy Chin was motivated. They all motivated.
it hasn't been a lot of players out there that I would sign for more than
Well,
that. What's
nah,
interesting
no way.
is Kinlaw got more than 1 year.
I know, which
So
is which is what which I have questions about Ken Law, but it's okay.
yeah, that was an interesting signing. Me
Yeah,
and Bryce chopped it up about that one too, because that
yeah,
was an
yeah.
interesting signing. Especially since like everyone's saying, we give out a lot of 1 year deals. Kinlaw seemed to got a little bit more than that.
And
That
that's the
was
one
interesting.
that's been deemed a bust
And
from the
I know you said you didn't want to get too much into the Terry thing, man, but we were talking
go ahead.
pre-show
Go for it,
about
go ahead.
the length being the issue with that. And I
Yeah,
do think that like the length of the extension, and it's got me thinking because they give out all these 1 year deals. I really don't think Adam Peters is trying to extend Terry for more than 2 years.
it's
And I think
fine. Yeah,
that's the biggest hangup. I
that's
really do.
probably what it is. But again, like you know, I'm just like now. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm a realist with that though. It shouldn't be more than that though. Terry's
No, I
total
mean,
years, adding the extension, it should be 3 years. Like adding the first year, this year, which he's getting paid for, it should be
right. So that
three
would
years
make it a
total.
3 more years. So
Yeah,
I would if it was me, if I
it'd
was
be two
Adam
years. Yeah,
Peters,
it'd be a 2 year deal.
I'd add 2 more years on. So that'd be this year
Yeah,
plus 2 more.
that's
I'd
fair.
guarantee him at least 70, at
Yeah,
least 70. Maybe make the total contract 100 mil, give him at
yeah,
least 70 no matter what.
yeah,
That way, by the time he's what, 32, 31 or whatever,
yeah.
you can kind of reevaluate. Now, when I mentioned this to my guy Bryce, he said, if I'm Terry's camp, I'm laughing at that. You know what I mean? Like if I'm Terry's camp, I'm looking for a little bit longer of a deal, which I can hear, but
If we get a Super Bowl this season, we don't need Terry. If we get a Super Bowl without him, yeah, we get it. Of course, we don't need him. We get a Super Bowl without him. If we get a Super Bowl with him,
that's the thing too that I think a lot of people are getting confused. Terry's playing this season.
yeah, he's playing the season. So I don't.
There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no way around that. Like
Yeah,
he's contracted, he's turning 30, he's not in a position to sit out a season. You know
yeah,
what I mean? He can sit out some camp, you know, if he wants to
yeah.
do that, but he
You don't
can't
lose that
afford to
money.
sit out a whole season.
Yeah, you don't lose that money, bro. Like that CBA, like you need that money. He need that money.
And to be honest, man, I think if to that last comment, to the point of that, if he plays the season and we get a chip, I don't
That's
know if they
big.
need to resign him. Yeah, I don't
Why? Oh,
know.
because we
Do they
won.
resign him if we win the Super Bowl? Like
He's
his
for it.
price is gonna go up. Like
Oh yeah. If they
if
win,
that's
his
the
price
case,
is gonna go up. Yeah, it's gonna go
his
up.
price is definitely gonna go up
Yeah,
if that's the
it's not
case.
like it wouldn't be like we don't need him. It'll be like we won't sign him.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh yeah, see, when y'all had me, this is what y'all got. Yeah, yeah, it goes up. The
Yeah,
money
nah.
goes.
If I'm Terry and that happens, then I'm asking for
Yeah, I'm
something
asking for
crazy at
buku
that point.
money, something crazy.
Yeah,
You definitely ain't afford him. If you can't
because
afford it,
somebody's gonna pay me now.
hell yeah, they
And
are.
don't get it twisted. Somebody would pay Terry right now. Somebody would give
Hell,
him that 35 mil plus.
yeah, hell
I'm sure.
yeah.
So
Because they're gonna look at the body of work and what he had to play with. They're gonna look at it. You know what I mean? And they're gonna think that they can get even more out of him within their situation. That's how people think.
I do think though, man, I'm very hopeful that before camp gets started, the deal is done. I do think something's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah,
So something's gonna happen tomorrow. There'll be a deal sent out and it'll either be accepted or rejected. But
yeah.
something's going down tomorrow.
All right. Paul said, "Okay, Wole and Rome. How about Noah Fant? I've been adding. I've been adding to being added to the tight end room.
That'd be perfect. As soon as I saw him released earlier, that's something if I'm the Commanders, I would look
Facts.
into
They would
ASAP. Like
now. Go ahead.
I like Ertz. I'm glad they brought him back, but I wasn't too big on Ertz last year. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm also big on locker room camaraderie, right?
Yeah,
So if he's got a connection with Jaden, then that's more than enough. You don't got to be the most talented guy if you got the chemistry thing going. So I'm fine with them bringing Ertz back, but they gotta upgrade the tight end room, man. Like I was honestly just telling my son, like Ertz is cool, but he's old. I need to see Ben Sinnott step up this training camp.
Well, he needs to step up. That's on him though. That's on Ben Simmons.
Right. I need to see him earn the playing time. That's kind of what I'm getting at. He's got to earn that time.
Yeah.
And we know who Bates is. You know, Bates is an excellent blocker. I'm not here to trash Bates. I love him for the role that he plays, but he's not turning into Travis Kelce anytime soon.
Fact.
So they gotta do something with that tight end room. Noah Fant might be perfect. I definitely think it's worth them looking into.
No, I agree. I think you'd be a good one. All right, well, man, Rome, I appreciate you being on, man. This has been dope, man. Great work. Hey, great work. I appreciate the chat. Y'all rock as always. Hey, Rome, before we end the show, man, let our listeners know about your show, when you guys are airing, what you got on tap.
Yes, sir. As always, Gas Presents Sports for the Culture will be live every Tuesday night. So tap into that, man. We cover everything from sports, culture, everything under the sun, man. And with NFL season coming up, you're definitely going to want to be tuned in because we always got some good takes on there. And then me and my guy Bryce, we have the Hell to the Culture podcast as well, which is also under the Gas Sports banner. So follow Gas Sports on YouTube and Twitter. We'll be dropping a Commanders podcast at least once a week. Once the season gets started, we'll be dropping 2 times a week. You'll be able to catch my man Wole as a reoccurring guest on there for sure as well. So definitely be tuned in to us, man. Like I said, the season's right around the corner, so we got some good stuff coming up.
Yeah, man, definitely. I can't wait to be on the show, man. Make sure y'all pull up, man. Follow Rome on Twitter. That's at YoungRome22. That's at YoungRome22. Y'all see it right there in gray. So make sure y'all follow him on Twitter. And also, once you get that, follow Gas Sports on there. And once you can do that, then you know where you can find him on YouTube and everything. It makes it easier. There's no people like me. We lazy. We gotta go to the actual stuff and kind of find it this way and that. So make sure y'all follow my guys, subscribe to the podcast. Anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all for pulling up and tuning in. Oh yeah. Hold on. Okay, well, guest preacher. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Anyway, y'all, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Yiddy deuces. We are out. Peace.